Hey YouTube, it's Evergreen Seattle. Just got back from the hydro shop. I'm gonna be transplanting I'm gonna start tomorrow, but I still gotta harvest those 6 plants of the 4 blue rhinos and the 2 afghuis before I get into that. But since I am starting to pick up material for my 8,000 watt grow, I'm going to start out with 4,000 watts, so guaranteed I'm going to be using 24 root makers. But for now I'm going to be conducting tests in this tent because I started thinking about how root makers work. They prevent getting root bound basically by root pruning and encircling the pot with roots. So what I'm thinking about is going on full on fabric pots, because to me the idea of having roots or oxygen in the root zone is a major plus. And since it's basically touching the whole root ball is going to be touching air, it's going to be root pruning the whole root ball. So the 2 major companies right now on the market is a Smart Pot and GeoPot, and I'm going to be running them not really side by side because I'm in perpetual, but it'll be a good enough comparison of the 2. But I actually talked to the manufacturers of these 2 products before I got these pots, 5-gallon pots, and Smart Pot was actually pushing their product a lot more than GeoPot was. They're explaining on how new it is to be using this kind of material on pots and all this kind of stuff. And what's weird to me is there's a video on how to transplant with these pots on the internet, and it just shows how flimsy these pots are. And I don't know about investing in a pot that I can't use over and over again for, however many times that I expect on using it. And in that video they're actually rolling this down the root ball to get the plant out. And for me to be able to do that, I don't really like the idea of it, because if I keep on doing it, how if this pot doesn't want to stay up anymore, But yeah, this is the Smart Pot. When you look at it, it's like way cheaper construction than the GeoPots. This is the seam right here, and when you look at how it's sewn, it's basically it's not one stitch, it's a stitch that loops over and over again. I'm not a seamstress or anything, but I don't know what it's called, but this is what it looks like, the seam of it. And then they use the same kind of thing on the bottom of it. And when you look at this is like super thin. And then when you look at the GeoPots material of the bag is actually thicker than this stuff. And then it looks thicker from the top, but it's hard to compare the 2 because this is an actual folded over lip. And that's why I like this pot better, just from, visual inspection. And then when you look at the seam, look at this seam. It's just super crazy strong looking. And on the inside, the inside uses the same thing as the Smart Pot. That's crazy. But this seam is like super strong, the side seam, and the top's doubled over. So that's what I like about this. And if I do end up going, most likely, I'm going to be honest, most likely I'm going to go with GeoPots. in my 8,000 watt grow, I'm gonna go with the 7 gallons that have the handles on them, because I went and got these ones that don't have the handles. But yeah, I'm gonna have these pots. Oh yeah, another thing from the marketer, or I don't even know who he was, for GeoPot. He told me that he was just completely honest. He was just like, most likely, performance-wise, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between SmartPot and GeoPot, because the material is basically the same. It's going to breathe the same. But the only thing is that he wanted me to understand was that GeoPot, construction-wise, is a lot stronger than SmartPots. So I like companies like that where they're just completely honest. Like, you know, performance-wise, you're not going to be able to tell a difference, but, you know, our product's stronger. And, you know, when it comes to pots, you might be spending like, you know, $20 a pot. And if you're spending $20 a pot, you know, times however many you got, you know, for smaller grows, it's not all that important. Like, you know, if you have like 2 plants or something, you know, you're not really worried about having to stretch it out and use it, you know, a whole bunch of times, because it's only 2 pots you got to replace later on. But, you know, in Washington State, they have a limit of 45 plants. So if you have 45 $20 pots, it all adds up. You're going to want to get the most out of your money. So, for me, I think I'm going with the GeoPots with handles. Oh, let me take that back. You're always going to want to get most of your money, but, you know, if I had only 2 plants, it wouldn't bother me too much, you know. In that one run, you'd make that money back. But, you know, for me, I'm not used to having Washington State's limit of 45 plants, so I'm going to just have to wing it and hope for the best. But yeah, just wanted you to see what Tesla I'm going to be running, just because I just got back and got these pots. So catch you guys Sunday.